Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Houston Sharpshooters Draft the Glory franchise mode here in NHL 22. So last episode we had the first round against the Stanley Cup champion winning Dallas Stars from last season, and we managed to knock them out this year in 5 games, so we got redemption for last year, which is nice. And now we're going to be taking on a very interesting looking Winnipeg Jets team in the second round, and I think this series could literally go either way because the fact apparently they're a very good road team and we're a very good home team this so far in the playoffs. They're also scoring a lot of goals. They've had really good penalty kill percentage and power play percentage. But in general, I think our roster looks better than theirs in terms of like depth and whatnot. But I could be wrong with that. Here's what our roster looks like. As you can see, we're very top 6 heavy. And then we also have a very good defensive core behind us that helps us out. And so far, Benson has been actually really good in the playoffs, so I'm really hoping he could continue that here into the second round. But as you can see, he has not lost so far in regulation. And yeah, hopefully he could just continue being a good goalie. If not, we have Park as well as a depth goalie, and we also have Sweat who could get opportunities to play as well. So, but yeah, hopefully we could get into the conference finals if we can. And then the Winnipeg Jets roster is a very intriguing roster for a team that's in the second round. As you can see, they do have a former player in Sam Sidhu, who is really weird to see him there. He is making a very big contract, and I don't know if that's what's kind of making his team a little bit weak in terms of depth. It might be because he's making such a big cap hit, but a lot of 70 overall players in their roster, so they don't really have the best depth, and they probably rely heavily on this top line, my guess, and also their goaltending. Defense is not terrible. They do have some good defensemen like Oda, Zanata, and Safronov, but these three are all kind of like more top 6 defensemen than an actual top 4, so it's a little bit weird. And in goalie-wise, they do have Spencer Knight, which I said they probably rely heavily upon, which, as you can see so far, he's got a .937 save percentage through 5 games. So, yeah, he's definitely a really good playoff goalie, so it's going to be probably tough to score on him. And hopefully we can manage to do so, because if we can't, this team is going to be packing their bags early again, I'd say, this year. But yeah, hopefully we can get to that conference finals and beyond that, because that would be really great. Because like I said, we do not have a lot of time left to win a Stanley Cup in the series, and I'd like to do that because guys like Jaskalainen on his team definitely deserve it, considering they've been here through a lot of ups and downs and stuff like that. So that is that, and yeah, let's get into this second round matchup and see if we can get ourselves into the conference finals or not. I really don't know which way this series is going to go because, like I said, that offense in Winnipeg and that defense isn't really the greatest, but they do have good goaltending, and then they do have a solid enough top line. It doesn't compare to ours overall-wise, but who knows how they simulate actually. So let's get into Game 1. You got home ice advantage. See if we can take a 1-0 series lead here on the Jets. First period, we're down 1-0. That's not a great start, but it is a power play goal for them. So our penalty kill is doing somewhat decent, I think, in the first round, but to give up an opening day power play goal is not great. Shots 15-9 after 1 for the Jets, so we definitely need to get a little bit more chances in the second if we can. And yeah, hopefully Benson can keep us in this game, because if Benson doesn't play good, then we'll probably have to turn to a different goalie for a lot of this round. Second period, there we go. There's our offense. Let's go. Scuderi and Kapitanov. So our power play manages to score a goal. So that's, I believe, the first power play goal the Jets have allowed this playoff so far, which is great to see, because they didn't allow any power play goals in round 1, I'm pretty sure, in 10 attempts, because I'm literally recording this right after the last episode you guys saw. But we do have a 2-1 lead now going into the third period. Shots are 23-19 in favor of us. Can we get some insurance here and to lock down this first game? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Penalty kill. And they score another power play goal. So our penalty kill is not getting it done here so far, which is not great. And then they get another goal. Hemelorson makes it 3-2. That's not good. Yeah, Benson's having a little bit of a rough time, but it's to be expected considering this Jets team is probably a little bit better. And then the Dallas Stars team, Scuderi manages to tie it up late and get us to overtime. So that's a huge goal from Scuderi. Isn't that his second of the night? Yep, that's his second of the night. So that second line has actually been doing pretty well. Shots are 37-27 in favor of us, so we're definitely outplaying them. But Benson's had a little bit of a rough game by comparison to his first round. Let's see what happens in overtime, see if we can get that OT winner. Who wants to score for us? And it's not going to be for us. It's Helmerson with the third power play goal of the night for the Jets. So we lose game 1 4-3, despite outshooting them by 10 shots. That's not good. We allowed way too much power play goals. Capitan up from Sedin and Benson, Scuderi from Burns and Hedman, and Scuderi from Burns and Forster. So Benson's got 2 assists so far in the playoffs, which is really interesting, but yeah, our penalty kill needs to be better than that. So I think I am going to have to address the penalty kill lines a little bit. And, I think I'm going to keep Benson for game 2, but if Benson loses game 2, then we'll turn ourselves over to Sweat and see if Sweat can do it. If Sweat can't do it, we'll turn over to Park, that type of thing. So let's address our special teams here. Our power play has been fine. Penalty kill, though, needs some work apparently. So we are going to move Thornton up to the first penalty kill unit. We'll move Patan down, I think. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll also try and flip some defensemen around, maybe. Yeah, we'll flip-flop Sedin and Taratukin. And then goalie-wise, we'll keep that the same like I was saying. Did I address the 3-man power play? I don't think so. Let's do that as well. Let's flop that around a little bit, and then let's go like that. Yeah, let's do that. Because Jaskalainen is the penalty killing goat. He's still elite potential, which is good as well, so he's not dropping as fast as I didn't want to have happen, because obviously we don't want him to drop off too quick, because or else he's going to retire fast. But so that was game 1 in our first home loss of the playoffs, because we were 3-0 in the first round on home ice. And that's 3 straight overtime games we've been in, which is kind of scary. Okay, can we bounce back in game 2? We are still running with Benson, but like I said, if Benson loses this game, there is a chance we go to a different goalie. First period of game 2. And we're up 1-0. I'll definitely take that. Pete Pasquale scores to the 4th liner. Really good to see Pete score, because Pete is one of these players that have just kind of stuck around with his team since the beginning, regardless of what he's making or his role. He's been kind of like, I guess like a Nick Paul would be a good kind of representation of him, because he's been literally playing on tons of different lines over the years. But really good to see him score here in the playoffs. Shots are 13-12 in favor of us, and it's 1-0. Second period, they've tied it up. That's not good. Sam Sidhu, of course. Screw you, Sam. You left this team and you made a lot of money just to pick up 78-plus points. I don't really think that's worth it, but it is what it is. Shots are 19 apiece. It's a 1-1 game. Let's see what happens here in the second period, or third period, actually. I said almost second period for some reason. Penalty kill, and they score another power play goal. Our penalty kill just can't do anything right now. And then they score another goal. Helmersson's got like 3 goals in the series. I don't know how their depth scoring is this good. Based on their roster, I'm not really too sold on it, but we are going to be taking a 2-0 series downfall back to Winnipeg, which is not good. We got to win 2 road games to get back in the series. That's not good. We scored first, but then Sidhu scored, and then Helmersson picked up a couple goals. So they're definitely relying on their top line a lot, and then also Spencer Knight has been really good so far, which is to be expected. So yeah, I am going to have to make some line changes, and Benson's going to be out of the lineup this next game, but it's probably because he needs a break more than anything. He's not been a terrible goalie this playoff run, but yeah, the Jets have been causing us some problems, so we'll run with Sweat, and then we'll also try and rechange up this penalty kill a little bit. I don't really know what it needs, but we need to find a way to get it going. So we're going to give Bengtsson some penalty kill time, considering he's a two-way forward. And who else do we want to move around? I might take Hedman off the penalty kill, to be honest. If I can, not really. And maybe I'll just leave it the same. The rest of it. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep it like this. And try and get rid of that 1- if we can, which I can't really. Unless I take somebody directly off the penalty kill. Which, I mean, I can if I want to. Let's wait. Sedin's already on the first unit, right? Yeah, he is. So I guess we'll try running. No, that doesn't do anything good either. So I'll keep Taratukin there. And yeah, I guess the rest of this just got to stay the same, which is unfortunate. So there is that, and yeah, hopefully Sweat could play good, because last year in the playoffs, in case you guys don't remember, he had a .955 save percentage through 7 games, so he was fantastic. So I'm really hoping he could find some of that magic here again in the playoffs this year, because we definitely need to come out of this 0-2 hole that we're in. If we could win both these games in Winnipeg, then it's a brand new series. So let's see what happens here in Game 3, see if we could win a game here, because I don't want to go down 0-3. That would not be good First period of Game 3. And it's 1-1. Guess I'll take that. Kapitanov scores and CONN scores. 1 goal on 5 shots for Sweat, which is not good. We're definitely outplaying them, but once again, Spencer Knight seems to be the difference maker in the series so far. Second period. And we're up 4-1. Let's go. That's exactly what I wanted. I thought at first it was 4-1 Winnipeg. I was kind of out of it, like I zoned out for a second. But Thornton makes it 2-1. McGrattan is first, I think, of the playoffs, makes it 3-1, and Sedin makes it 4-1. That's exactly what I want to see. Score 4 goals on Spencer Knight. That's really good, considering he was pretty good in the first 2 games, I'd say. Shots are 26-18. We're up 4-1. Can we lock down this game? Jääskeläinen makes it 5-1 early. Let's just lock this one down here, please, boys. And it will be alive for another day, potentially, because going down 0-3 is not good enough. Helmerson makes it 5-2. Helmerson's definitely been their best player. Jacobson makes it 5-3. I'm kind of scared that we're going to lose 6-5 now. Don't make us lose 6-5, please, game. I know you're scripted sometimes. Okay, that's not going to happen. Good. Thornton gets an empty netter, and we win 6-3, and it's now a 2-1 series for Winnipeg. We outshot them 35-26, and we get the win with Sweat and net. He wasn't the best, I'd say, 3 goals on 26 shots, but he did get the win, so I think he deserves to start for next game. So Kapitanov from Sedin, Thornton from Sedin and Jääskeläinen, McGrattan from Burns, Sedin from Jääskeläinen, Jääskeläinen from Thornton and Ronning, and guess what? Thornton from Jääskeläinen and Kapitanov. So Jääskeläinen stepped up with a 4-point game. He was +5 in that game as well. Like I said in last round, these two, Thornton and Jääskeläinen, if they're getting going, our team will win games. But if they don't, our team will lose. And that was definitely why. But yeah, not a good playoff game from Sweat so far. But I think I should just roll with him anyways, just because we won that game. Because maybe it's a good omen. Because maybe he'll just step up next game, because if he could win this next game, then we'll have a tie series, and then we'll probably go to Benson again. Because I don't know if I trust Park to play a game yet. So, we'll see. Let's go back to Sweat again, which might be a bad call to make, but I think we got to give Sweat the benefit of the doubt. Since he got a W, he gets to start until he loses pretty much almost. But yeah, Benson's been really good, but I just want to make sure he's ready to go again, because maybe he's just one of these goalies that can't play like 20 games straight, you know, in the playoffs. So, let's get into game number 4. We're still in Winnipeg with our new line changes in Sweat and net. Let's see if we can tie this series up at 2 apiece, headed back home after being down 0-2. Let's see what happens. First period, we're down 2-0. That's not good. Yeah, maybe it was not a good call to put Sweat back in net. 2 goals on 6 shots. He started the last game off bad as well, though, because he had like 1 goal on like 5 shots, I think it was. That's not a good start. Helmerson's been really their best player in terms of scoring goals, but he's only like an 85, so I don't really know why he's scoring so much. But shots are 14-6 after 1. We're down 2-0. We need a big second period here, or else this is going to get a little bit ugly. Second period, there you go. That's exactly what we needed, and look who it is. Raimo legitimately does everything for this team. He comes up in big situations. He picks up 2 goals in that second period to get us a tie game. Like, Raimo definitely is the definition of Patrice Bergeron, I'd say. Stepping up in huge moments and being a very good two-way forward. Love Jääskeläinen. Definitely might be the best channel legend we've had in almost all my series because of the way he just steps up with playoff points and stuff like that. Shots are 24-11 in favor of us, so they didn't get a lot of shots in that second period either. Let's see if we could take the lead here in the third period. Penalty kill early to start the third, and we kill it off. Nicely done, but Cummins restores the lead for the Jets. Not good. Jääskeläinen, can I call on you again? Sidhu gets another power play goal. It's 4-2. That's not good. See, even regardless of Teratukin of Jääskeläinen stepping up, our team, the rest of the team doesn't do anything as much, it seems like, and we're going to lose this one 4-2, and we're now down 3-1 in the series. We need to win 3 straight games, or else the Jets are going to knock us out. It's really unfortunate, though, because Jääskeläinen has been really good in the series. He's had 6 points in his last 2 games, but it's not really enough to get this team to the next round, I don't think, because that depth scoring is probably the most problematic it is. Like, if we had a good, like, 82 or something like that on our third line, maybe then we could be good, but we have to rely heavily on Jääskeläinen in that top line. Let's see what we got here. So let's make some line changes just to see if we could get something going with the other lines. I really don't know what. Let's flop Jacobs and Forster. Because Jacobs is a sniper, but he's only got 1 goal so far. And then, what else could we do here? Patan's only got 1 assist. I'm going to move Pasquale up, move Patan down. And then we'll make some defensive changes. Move Hedman up, move McGrattan down. Actually, yeah, do something like that. Move Taratuk into the top pairing. And then we'll run back with Benson again. Because Sweat was not good in his short span. Way worse than last year. Even though he got a win, I am going to take him out of the lineup, and we're going to throw Park back in as the backup. But yeah, hopefully Benson can get us back out of this 3-1 hole, or else we're going to be packing our bags in a second round for the 2nd straight season, which would not be good. So here we go, game number 4, right? No, game number 5 on home ice. Looking to fight off elimination. We need 3 straight wins here. We're going to do a real-time simulation just because we could be eliminated here. So let's see what happens here in this game 5. See if we could get some early goals in this first period, and hopefully our penalty kill can play a little bit better, because their penalty kill has not been good so far in this round. Like, I don't know why the Jets are so good on the power play. Patan scores a power play goal. Let's go. That's good for us. So Patan got moved to the 4th line, and he scores, and then Afina Sankov scores. So our depth scoring is starting to pick it up here in this crucial game. Shots are 10-5 in favor of us, and we're up 2-0 because of 2 goals from a 3rd liner and a 4th liner. Not as I was expecting, but let's see what happens in the second period. See if we could get our top 6 going a little bit here, and hopefully get some insurance in this game. Power play opportunity, we do not score. Come on, boys. Let's get some insurance from like Jaskalainen or from Thornton. Taratuk even, I don't think, has scored really. Anybody really in that top 6 or top 4 defensive pairings would be good if we can. And it's still going to be 2-0 going into the 3rd period. That's pretty good. Shots are 17-13 in favor of us. Can we lock this game down and fight off elimination for a potential game 6? Or, yeah, for a game 6, not for a potential game 6, for the actual game 6. Lock it down. There we go. Jacob scores. He gets moved into the top 6 and he gets a goal. Power play opportunity. We don't convert. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Still 3-0. And then, of course, they break the shutout late. Robert Thomas. But we are going to win 3-1, and we have fought off elimination and have forced a game 6. It's now a 3-2 series for the Jets. So Patan from Burns and Scuderi, Afina from Taratuk and Forster, and Jacobs from Scuderi and Hedman. So not the type of guys you'd expect to get goals from, but they do step up, and our top line has like a night off, it seems like. But really good performance again from Benson after having 2 games off. So that is great to see, because we definitely need him to keep playing like that if we want to get out of this second round. Who's leading us in points so far? Still Jaskalainen with those 11 points in 10 games. Not a surprise. Okay, can we force a game 7? We're not on the road. We are 1-1 in Winnipeg so far. Can we force a game 7? We're going to keep the lineup the exact same again. Come on, boys. Let's force a game 7. Holmquist makes it 1-0. That's not a great start for Benson, considering last game he didn't give up a goal till late in the game. Come on, boys. Let's tie this one up here. I don't know who hasn't scored in a long time, but somebody please score. Pasquale. And it's going to be 1-1. Okay, McGrattan scores. He hadn't scored in a while, so I guess I'll take that. 1-1 after 1. Shots are 12-8 in favor of us, but a late goal from McGrattan has made it a 1-1 game going into the second. Let's see if we could get the lead here in the second period. This is a big period. Come on, boys. Come on. Jaskalainen, Kapitanov. Oh, yeah, Kapitanov hasn't scored in a long time. That's somebody who hasn't scored. I don't know why he hasn't scored in a long time, because his contract's up this offseason. Vidicek makes it 2-1 for the Jets. That's not good. That's the type of goal you do not want to give up. And we're going to be down 2-1 going into the third period. The shots are 27-16. So Benson's kind of having a bad game, and the offense hasn't been able to score on their chances. We need a big goal here in the third period to tie this one up, or else we are going to be packing our bags. Come on, guys. Let's tie this up. This might be our last period of the season. Power play early in the third period, and Oda scores for them to make it 3-1. That's not good. Power play again for us. We don't score. They get a power play, and they don't get anything. Penalty play for us. It's late in the game. And, yeah, looks like we're going to be outed in the second round again, because their offense just cannot find a way to beat Spencer Knight. Yep, we're going to lose 3-1 in Game 6. even though we had 38 shots on goal. And we are not going to be going to the third round, which really sucks. And this team is eliminated in the second round for the second straight season. So the only goal in that one, McGrattan from Forster and Pasquale. So our top six really slowed down in those last two games, and that might have cost us. Jaskalainen didn't step up like I was expecting him to, but that really sucks. But it's good to see that the team still got decently far, even with the lack of depth. The only problem is we might lose more players this offseason, and yeah, we don't have a draft lottery spot as well, so kind of take a win for a loss, that type of thing. So let's take a look at our player stats anyways throughout the playoffs, and then we'll simulate to the awards and stuff like that, and we'll take a look at like the draft class and all that type of thing. But it really sucks to get eliminated by a team that I don't think really looked like a cup contender. So Jaskalainen and Burns both 11 points in 11 games. Jaskalainen, like I said, he's always been a really good playoff player. He's now got 112 playoff points in 101 games. He's always been right around point per game or over point per game in the playoffs so far in his career, which is really great to see. And then Burns was really solid. Pasquale, not really that much, but he's more of a fourth liner. Patan was terrible, -6 in 11 games. So yeah, definitely our depth kind of lacked a lot in the playoffs, which is what I was expecting to in the regular season, but that didn't happen. Thornton, 8 points in 11 games. He was he was not really that great, I'd say. After scoring 42 in the regular season, only having 3 goals in 11 games, and being under point per game. He started off the playoffs hot, but then he really just slowed down a lot. Forster, only 5 points isn't good enough for a second liner. Jacobs, 2 points. Lucic, 2 points. Scuderi was really good. Way better than I expected. He'll probably have to take over that top spot role on the top line when Kapitanov leaves, because more than likely that's going to be the case. Kapitanov was really quiet as well, 8 points in 11 games, and most of those points I think came in the first round or early in the first round. Yeah, he kind of slowed down. Afenisenkov only 2 goals, and Bengtsson only 1 point. So yeah, our depth scoring definitely slowed down a lot. And then defensively, Sedin led our defensive core. Tier 2 can kind of slow down a lot. Only 4 assists from him in 11 games, as a comparison to 17 points when we went to the Cup Finals a few years back. Yip 3 points, Hedman 3 points, McGrattan 2, and Ronning 2. And then goalie-wise, Benson was fantastic. Hopefully I could get him back again. I'm not sure if he's a UFA this end of the season or not, but still that's a big one if we lose him. And then Sweat was terrible when he played. Maybe I should have gave Park a game, but I didn't think it was necessary. So there is our player stats for the playoffs. And now we got to find out who's going to win the Stanley Cup. Who is going to be the Stanley Cup champion for 2035-36? It's probably going to be the Jets, just because they knocked us out, right? Nope, it's going to be the Philadelphia Flyers, and Stockton wins the AHL. Interesting. Let's take a look at those awards. But Philadelphia is the Stanley Cup champion this year. There's the playoff bracket. They did beat the Jets in the Cup Finals, so we lost to the best Western Conference team for the second straight season. Sucks that we didn't get to that Cup Final, though, because I think we were better than Jets overall-wise. It's just Spencer Knight was so good. I don't know how good the Flames would have been. I think the Flames would have been a lot more tougher of a team to face, though, because they had, like, Scarabelli. Also, they did actually have Ortiz, who would have lost in the conference finals there. So, any former players on the Flyers, out of curiosity, before we actually take a look at the awards? Because I'm kind of curious if any of our former players signed in Philadelphia or not, because I don't remember if somebody did. Got to take a look at that. So, the Stanley Cup champion winning Philadelphia Flyers, led by Boris Afinogenov. Not former players. Afinogenov's not a former player, but they had two Trudeau players, Yves Trudeau and Maxime Trudeau. Interesting. No right wingers on that team. And yeah, no former players in Philadelphia, looks like. Yeah, they just had Travis Hamonic, the goaltender. It's funny as heck. Let's take a look at those awards. So the Stanley Cup champions, the Philadelphia Flyers, for the first time. Montreal won the President's Trophy, and it was Winnipeg and Philadelphia in the Cup Finals. In terms of individual awards, Scarabelli wins the Art Ross. See, we would have had to run into him if we got to the conference finals. Schofield wins the Hart for Dallas. Hlinka wins the Norris for Philadelphia. William Nylander, still playing, wins the Lady Byng for the Islanders. Markstrom wins the Calder for the Flyers, and he also wins the Cup in his rookie season. Hlinka wins the Conn Smythe for the Philadelphia Flyers. That's that defenseman, so that's kind of neat. Lenefeld's going to win the Vezina for the Montreal Canadiens, and also win the Jennings. The Bill Masterton goes to Campoli for the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Jack Adams goes to Winnipeg's coach, which kind of makes sense with that type of roster, getting that team all the way to a Cup Finals. That's pretty impressive for that coach. And no, you got to be joking me. Baumgartner has broken the Selke Trophy run that Jääskeläinen had. Screw you, Baumgartner. Jääskeläinen had a 5-win streak for the Selke Trophy, and he looked like he could have won another one, but this Baumgartner guy wins it. I got to take a look at his stats by comparison. That really sucks. Schofield wins the Lindsay, and Scarabelli wins the Richard. AHL award-wise, any awards for our AHL affiliate? Probably not. Nope, no awards down there in the minors. But let me take a look at that guy in St. Louis. Because this is Jääskeläinen's point totals in the regular season, 92 points. He had really good face-off percentage with 55.9. And he also had 161 takeaways. So how good was this guy in St. Louis by comparison to this Baumgartner guy? Did he deserve it more? He had 86 points in 82 games, which is interesting. He won 55.9% of his draws as well, so the exact same winning percentage on the face-off dot, but less points. He also had 167 takeaways, which how much did our boy have in Jääskeläinen? Jääskeläinen had 161, so the difference in the takeaways is probably what decided who won that. Because he had 161 and the other guy had 167. Damn, that sucks. Same face-off percentage, more points, just it came down to takeaways. Oh, that really bums me out because I really wanted Jääskeläinen to win another one. He's up to a 91 probably because of statistical stuff, but we still got him locked up for another 5 seasons, even though he's 32, so. Oh, I was hoping he'd win his 6th straight, but he did not. That really bums me out. Let's continue to sim up to the draft, and then we'll take a look at that draft class to see how good it is. Hopefully we could get a good prospect in regardless. Just sucks it's not a lottery pick in a sense. And yeah, we could end up losing some pretty big players this offseason, which hopefully we don't. So retirement-wise, any big retirements other than these guys? A lot of solid players actually retired. None of them with us, though, I don't think. We'll have to take a look at our roster and see. Carl Hendrickson was in a different series. Yeah, he was in Arizona, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look at our roster just to see if we lost anybody. We probably didn't. Yeah, we didn't lose anybody, not a surprise. Who were the best goalies to retire this year, though, out of curiosity around the league? Robin Leonard. Interesting. Garen Bjorklund, Juho Markkinen. Interesting. So there is the retirements. We do lose a coach, which I think might be our head coach again. Travis Kalanos. I think that might be our head coach again, which if we lost another head coach, that is not a good thing considering now this team might fall back even further unless we find ourselves a really good coach that matches our system. Was that our head coach or was that an assistant coach? Okay, that wasn't our head coach. That was an assistant coach. Interesting. So we're going to have to find ourselves a new assistant coach. We could always look for a new head coach if we want to, but I don't think we need to. So final thing for this episode, we'll take a look at the draft class, the progress reports, and the contract situation. So draft class wise, there's a franchise player. Of course, the year we make the playoffs, there's a franchise level player that we could use. That really sucks. Where are we actually drafting, out of curiosity? I'm guessing it's still like in the 20s. I didn't want to go to that screen, god damn it. Draft board. We are going to be drafting 28th overall. We're going to get stuck with another average prospect. We need a really good prospect to get us over the hump, I'd say. That really sucks. And there's a guy named Christian Huselius. That's actually kind of funny. But drafting in 28, we're going to get stuck with like a top 9 forward, potentially, or a top 6 defenseman, probably. Yeah, this draft is probably not going to be that good for us as well. Hey, there's a guaranteed top 6. I might just have to take him since he has got actually potential. So, he's probably our best bet considering he's a center as well. There's also another top 6 forward here. Might be decent. We'll pin him. Top 4 defenseman. We'll pin him in case any potential low elites to pin for later rounds. Or medium elites for later rounds. There's a medium elite goalie. Do we want to draft a goalie that's 19? I don't know. I'll still pin him anyways, since he's guaranteed elite. Any low elites though? There is one here, Infester Ronnie, an offensive defenseman that's supposed to go undrafted. Interesting. Don't know if I trust that though, since the scouting rank is like 245, but that's a very intriguing one. Nathan Chan might be a low elite. I'll pin him in case. Yeah, some of those guys have like 3-year ETAs, so they actually might be elites. I don't know. Interesting. Let's take a look at the progress reports. In terms of the NHL, looks like we're getting some growth, but mostly statistically based. Some natural growth for guys like McGrattan and for Umberger in the minors. And then nobody growing else there. Goalie-wise, no, actually some statistical growth from Benson up to an 85. I really hope we don't lose him this offseason, but it might happen. And then in the system-wise, we are getting a lot of growth from a lot of our prospects, but a lot of them are older in age. Goddard's a 76 at 23. Maybe we give him an opportunity to play at some point. Duclair's a 75 at 22. Griffin 74 at 21. Yeah, a lot of these guys are not developing that well in the system. I don't really know what the case is, but because if we sort this by age, a lot of these guys are still in the 60s at their age. Cole is going to be decent, though. 69 at 19 is really solid. He's getting a lot of growth in terms of his offensive stuff, so that's exactly what we need from our former first-round pick. The goalie that had the last name goalie that's medium elite, apparently, he's up to a 69 at 20 as well, so we might have a goalie that actually is legit soon. Like, if we give him 1 year in the minors or 2 years in the minors, he might be in the NHL soon, which he might be the replacement for Benson. So there is that. Let's take a quick look at the contract situation. So as I was showing you guys before, these are the ones that are up for renewals. So some of these guys might end up leaving. Obviously, I'm going to try and qualify all these RFAs. But like I said, Scuderi, he's probably going to end up being like the top line replacement for Kapitanov because I don't think he's coming back. I'd like to keep Thornton around as long as possible, but I don't want to go 8 years because $18 million is a lot of money. But I would like to keep him around. Kapitanov, like I said, he's probably gone. He wants an 8-year deal at $13 million, which might be an overpayment for a guy that doesn't perform in the playoffs. And then Chad Burns still wants $11 million. Or if we go to 8 years, he only wants 9.3 as a second liner. And then, yeah, there's other guys that are not as important, but that's that. And in goalie-wise, Benson is actually UFA. And he wants 8.4 considering he just played really good. So we might end up losing Vic Benson. There's a chance of that. Because 8.4 for a starter is quite a bit of money. I mean, he does perform well, but we could always just run back to Park and Sweat and then wait until our other goalie in the minors is ready to go. Because I don't really know if I want to pay $8 million to Benson. So we might definitely go through some changes with this roster. Griffin is up to a 74 at 21. That's nuts. He actually has really good offensive awareness and passing. Huh. I'll leave it to you guys, but do we sign this guy and just throw him into the NHL almost right away? Or we might not be able to throw him into the NHL right away, but that offensive awareness, that shooting category, and then that passing category and deking make me think that this guy is going to be a really good offensive player. That's interesting. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory. So in next episode, we'll have the entire offseason again. And yeah, hopefully this team can go through a couple of years maybe of retooling and then get themselves back into being a playoff team, because I'd like to get Jaskalainen a Stanley Cup if we could. So anything you think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.